Hello, it's summer and it's Halloween, and today we're gonna make them kiss and have a baby. If you're new here, hi, my name is Karis. I'm an artist and creature creator. That wonderful time of year where it's not quite the end of summer and it's not quite the beginning of fall, and those two seasons are sort of meeting. A seasonal smooch, if you will. I thought it would be really fun if we took the time to celebrate this with some miniatures. Basically, today's theme is Summer-WEEN. We are combining summer with Halloween, like a scarecrow and a hot dog, popsicle and a mummy. People actually used to eat mummies. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other video. They would use them as paint. It was weird. It means that we're gonna be taking all things spooky in summer and then turning them into something miniature and adorable. I love fall, I love summer, I love seasons, I love life. Now I've done something a little different. Normally I ask you guys over on Instagram what it is that you would like to see, but I actually recently did a live stream where you guys already helped me develop one style. I have also put out requests on Instagram, so we're gonna read those first. I already know that we have to do at least one creature in a pool floaty, and I think it's gonna be a ghost. Okay, so many people are saying watermelon jack-o'-lanterns. 1, 2, 3, everybody is saying it. It's gonna be hard. I don't even know how I would begin to do that. Watermelon jack-o'-lantern has to happen. There's literally 20 people. An ice cream bat, that'd be so cute. Scream cheese? That's just a fun pun in and of itself. Scream cheese. A haunted barbecue grill? The endless powers of a haunted barbecue grill. Someone needs to make a horror movie about that. I wanna be invited to that cookout. Thank you very much. Okay, literally the cutest girl I know said that we should do Undead Ice Cream. Undead Ice Cream is such a good idea. Also, from the live stream, some of my favorites: citrus spider, bat burger, a burger that is also a bat, demon hot dog, pink lemonade ghost with a sunburn. This is phenomenal. You guys have given me all of these wonderful ideas. Okay, let's go have some fun. Feel like you need it. I need it. Thanks for all your good suggestions. I love you. First on the roster today is going to be our floaty ghost. Also, because I've never done anything in this sort of like donut-y shape before, so I think the game plan is before I make any other part of the ghost, I'm going to make the floaties. I can't decide whether I want the ghost to be kind of like ready to go with his floaty around his waist or like chilling in the floaty. And then I think we're gonna go from there. Just hanging out on the beach, in the river. That's the spirit. Get it? Because he's a ghost. Ghosts are spirits. So I'm a little bit nervous about this part because I don't know how thin to cut it, what portion sizes I'm gonna need. I'm gonna try and keep them as even as possible. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. Yes. A pool floaty. I know that traditionally they're like white and red, but I didn't feel like that would be enough contrast and enough summer. I feel like there needs to be like a little frill. Yes! I hope this will work. I think we might have to cut our ghost in half. I also think I'll need a couple of indentations so that it looks like he's squeezed into the floaty. I'm just gonna make a couple more of these and then we'll go from there. Okay, so our pool floaties are all done and I'm gonna pop them in the oven and then we can fill them. While those are in the oven, I kind of want to do a little side quest. I do really like the idea of the pink lemonade ghost. It feels like it's kind of on brand for me. And because I already have to make some ghosty shape for when those come out of the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and just whip up these little pink lemonade ghosts as like a small side quest while I'm waiting. I do really want them, but I don't feel like it's a style that's going to need like a whole segment dedicated to it. It feels pretty straightforward. Okay, so the game plan with these are, I'm doing a glow in the dark clay, which is kind of a little bit see-through, and I've got these funny little lemon slices here that are also made of polymer clay. So my thoughts are I am going to make our ghosts and then just sort of embed these so that you can see some of them on the outside, some of them you won't be able to. So the game plan here is I want to put divots here and then that will just stay in there. And I'll add a few more of our lemon slices. I feel like I want one poking out of the top too. He looks like he's very upset that that lemon is in there.
Feel like sparkly pink is the way to go for a pink lemonade.
And with that dusting of glittery pink, our side quest is completed and I baked these in the oven and gave them a little paint. And it's time for us to move back to our pool floaties. So we have our little pool floaties here, but it's just a matter of figuring out how I'm going to get these ghosties to sit inside of them, whether or not they're going to be holding it up or they're going to be chilling out, I think is what I need to see.
He's just lying in there, just lazing. I think you need to make him a little bit shorter though. That doesn't look very relaxing.
I think we're gonna have to do this like a magician's assistant and saw him in half. I don't know about this, you guys. Right now, it's just giving me like existential burger. No, this just looks like a UFO. He's stuck in there like this. So he's been stuck. I think that the frown in this instance is warranted. Wait, is that good? See, it's just good to see things through to the end, because sometimes it ends up being a little bit funny. I feel like this guy should have a little drinky.
For our drink, I put 2 tones of clay together in 2 different ways. One was swirling and one was blending. The blending portion was for the bottom of the drink, and then the swirly portion was for our straw. And I texturized the drink with a little bit of bubbles and also filled the mouth and eyes with black to complete our ghosties.
I am struggling to decide between these two. I think they're cute for their own reasons. But you guys might have to help me decide. Please tell me in the comments which one you think is better and why. They're both pretty cute though. Okay, on to the next one. Good morning. It is a beautiful day here today. What better day to turn a bat into a burger? I don't know why, when I first saw this, I was like so excited. I love bats. Freaking love bats.
It's freaking bats. I love Halloween.
A bat burger, what a treat. Okay, so game plan is, I've made burgers before. Previously, it did not go well, so we already know what to avoid when we're making a bat burger. So I'm gonna make the tops first. I'm gonna brush them with a little bit of pigment, get them nice and toasty. And then I'm gonna bake those in the oven. And then we're gonna assemble. It should be fairly straightforward. So I always say that now. You never know what could go wrong. It is me. So I thought maybe the top would look good as the winged part. No, I don't think this is gonna work. It looks a little bit odd because if I put the eyes here, I can't put the ears here. I'm just gonna see it through. Oh no, that's not gonna work, I don't think. We'll need to make the filling the wings, I think. And I think maybe it might be easier if I made the ears separately. This is not going to plan. I cursed myself. I said, it's gonna be pretty straightforward. It should be fairly straightforward. Is it though? If at first you don't succeed, continue trying until you embarrass yourself too much and you need to stop.
Well, that's about 1,000,000 times better. Now I just need to make the rest of it.
And hope that nothing else goes wrong.
To get our buns looking authentic, I tapped them with a little brush to give them a bread quality and also dusted them with some pigment and gave them some mouths before baking them so that we could press in our patties.
Hopefully this burger patty works because I made everything. It's the moment of truth. Oh, that's actually cute. Okay, I'm gonna make some cheese and get some details on this. I'm gonna get my roller, my clay roller, and I'm going to flatten out some cheese. I like to texture the cheese. Someone asked me once, they're like, you're putting the bun on top. You can't even see the texture. Why are you texturing it? Fun. I'm having fun.
So when I've made cheese before, I've made it a little bit too thick. I put my clay press on its absolute thinnest setting, and it really made it look like this had melted. I also used this incredibly tiny cookie cutter to cut out some pickle details for our burgers.
I'm very pleased. I'm about to give this burg a little bit of ketchup. I love it. This is the best. This is really, really cute. On a list of things that I'm not looking forward to doing, the watermelon jack-o'-lantern is one of them. Mainly because every single time that I have tried to do a watermelon pattern, it hasn't gone well. It never goes my way. I don't know what I'm doing. And not only that, I'm going to have to build layers so that convincingly we can carve into it and it's gonna look like a watermelon. I genuinely feel like sometimes y'all just like to see me struggle. Is that why you're here? To see me struggle? Well, all right then. Struggle we shall. For the watermelon skin, I'm going to use these 2 slightly different greens. I think the mistake I made in the past was that I used a green that was like really bright, and watermelon skin is like vaguely stripy. It's not like crazy stripy. I'm gonna roll out some little strips and then I'm gonna pop that into my pasta maker to flatten it out. Promising so far, maybe?
Not bad.
Okay, okay, okay.
I also went ahead and on the thinnest setting in my pasta maker, I rolled out some white clay because we're going to be doing a white layer underneath the stripe layer.
Okay, so I have legitimately made this white layer so thin that you can see light through it again. It's very, very delicate. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to open up this, turn it into our watermelon shape, and then try to join these 2 layers together and see how that goes. It's taking me about an hour to get to this point. Having to start over would not be ideal. Okay, layer 1. Why is it that I'm making all of these eggs right now? Everything requires an egg layer. I think watermelons kind of go this way, so maybe we'll do like this. The screaming really helps with the creative process. If anyone tries to tell you different, they've never made anything. No, no, baby, don't do this to mama. Yeah! Again, the screaming really assists in the creative process. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. And now that we've made a thing of beauty, I have to cut it.
Cut to my microphone dying and me not being aware of it. This was a pretty nerve-wracking process. I started off small with the edges because I didn't know if we were going to be able to cut through, and I decided that we were going to be doing a frown because Obviously, everything I make is sad as well as silly. The only thing that I will say about the technique that I used here, I should have just been more bold and like cut things out instead of scooping and pulling, because that did kind of mess and muddy up the layers. It ended up taking a lot longer to do these than I wanted to because I was scooping. I should have been more decisive with my slices. Slice-icive, if you will. Ultimately though, after a lot of finagling, I did end up with something that had smooth edges. It just took me like an hour basically to get them looking
Okay,
how
so
I
here
wanted.
we have it. It literally looks like it's screaming for its life. I think I'm gonna make some in a couple of different shapes, and I'm also gonna add little leaves and curly bits just so that it, you know, fully gives watermelon. I'm also gonna do a little slice here just because I think that'd be fun to show all the layers, and also it's why he's distressed. He's got a chunk missing, oh no!
Even though these were a lot of work, I'm really glad that I ended up making them and that you guys put me up to the challenge. Every time we do something really difficult like this, I end up learning something that I didn't already know, so thank you guys for making it difficult for me. I feel like summertime is not complete without an ice cream, and in this case, the undead ice cream is the one that I want to do next. I've got a lot of things without eyes. I think if the ice cream's undead, it's gonna be missing one eye. That is how you're gonna know. There's nothing sadder than dropping your ice cream cone. It's perfect. Screaming into the void. This is something that I have been meaning to do for a long time. It's actually been requested. The undead element aside, people have told me that a fallen over ice cream cone would be perfection. What would the ice cream cone be without the cone? We're starting off by making that first, and I'm also going to be making a custom shade of green for this ice cream. I wanted something that didn't come pre-packaged and was kind of like sickly and weird.
I'm gonna call this color zombie skin.
I think the flavor that we're going to be aiming for today is mint chocolate chunks of my brain. I also tried it with 2 eyes and then decided that I really didn't like that and removed one.
I feel like the eyes need to be a little bit wonky.
I also carved out a little hole because I figured it would be good for us to tell what's on this little guy's mind.
It's like I always say, live, laugh, lobotomy.
And then to make all of the brains, I rolled out these tiny little pink noodles and stuffed them inside of all of the cavities that I could. I also made a couple of extra little brainy bits so that I could put them onto the ice cream like sprinkles at a later date. And then I inserted in another hole our pre-baked ice cream cones. To finish things off, I added a few extra painted details, and now it's time to move on to another ghostly side quest, a ghost with a sunburn. As this one was a little bit of an experiment, I just made our base like I normally would out of glow-in-the-dark, and then I cut out a template.
Last sheet of paper. Okay, it's time for me to cut out the world's tiniest bikini. I think I want a slightly different shape.
Oh no, when you're at the pool and your top just comes flying off. In there, sis. This is so delicate. No, no. Oh, fiddly-la-da-dee. And now, do our stuff. It is time to test the theory. Okay. Oh, that is ridiculous. I'm not too sure if this looks like tan lines.
I'm not too sure if this idea translated or not, or just ended up looking like a Titan from Attack on Titans. What do you guys think? Either way, I had a lot of fun making it, and now it's time for us to turn to our final and most chaotic project. I had a lot of success in a previous video with making a new style of spider. You guys didn't catch that one. For the longest time, I've been making my spiders like this, with a wire inside and then covering it in clay, and it totally still works for these bigger scale sculptures, but it is incredibly time consuming, and also this is really fragile, immensely so. Making them the other way, they are not as fragile, they don't take as long, and so it's kind of opened up a whole new world for me. We're gonna be doing a citrus spider cross section, and if you guys have witnessed me trying to do any sort of a thing with a cross section, I've not successfully been able to do that yet.
I'm gonna use up some scraps for this project. If you don't need to open a new thing of clay every time, you shouldn't. I'm also gonna use some of this lemonade for the center. It had bits on it and now are gone. And so my game plan here is that I'm gonna make like a ball and then I'm gonna cut it into cross sections.
In between all of our segments, we're going to need a little bit of white, so I put some of that through my pasta maker before cutting all of these yellow balls into sixths. Why is sixths such a hard word for me to say?
I'm not so sure about this, you guys. It looks like a deranged basketball. Oh my god, I completely missed a segment. No! The only way out is through, and I'm not confident, you guys. I do not feel sure about my decision. I feel I may have made an error in my judgment. It looks like an egg. Could you imagine how disgusting a lemon-flavored egg would be? Let's put your skin on. That's an unnerving thing to say. We have a lemon shape. I'm gonna wait to do the texture until after it's cut. You know, I spend all that time texturing the outside, and it looks like hot garbage. actually, that is not the worst it could have been. I'm gonna try doing it again and not forgetting a section. That's actually pretty good. Let's try that one more time. It's the moment of truth. Well, that looks silly.
When I was first starting these out, the cross sections looked a little bit silly, but I figured that nature doesn't make anything perfectly either, so I would persevere with making all of the pieces for this. The way that I assemble these so everything sticks together and doesn't immediately fall apart and break basically makes these spiders look like they are telling little secrets to each other.
It's like he's whistling a little lemon whistle. That's cute. But now I can texture it, which is great. I also think I'm gonna add a little bit of texture to this part. I feel like this guy needs a little, I don't know what these things are called. I just call it the little fruit butthole. Okay, this guy's off to the oven and I'm going to finish the rest.
Speaking of fruit buttholes, while I was finishing the rest, I did a live stream with you guys and I definitely had a lot of fun and a couple of things happened that I think you should know about.
We need justice for fruit. If Pom Pom Porin can show his little hindquarters, if he can be proud, why can the fruit not have its little special bum?
Someone just said, don't mess up. I think they might be new to the channel. Dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. No, no, don't do it. I'm gonna show you guys the chat. They really don't want me to do this. No. Oh no, I feel sad. Oh no! When life gives you lemons, turn them in. For the sake of having a good time, I had to. Oh no, Tyler named it. Apparently this was named Bobby. Why do you guys always do that? You guys always name it and then make it 1,000 times worse. Oh wait, someone just said that I should do this to Bobby to make it better. Hold on. Here you go. Oh yes, that fixes it. You feel better now, Bobby? Bobby feels better now.
Now that we've made Bobby feel better, it's time for us to finish up these citrus spiders and move on to our moody glamour shots. Enjoy!
Are you wondering when we're going to have some of these styles available? We are going to be having a shop update August 29th at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and a bunch of these styles as well as some of the styles from our previous videos will be available. I'll be updating the shop at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and if you would like to get a reminder, you can sign up for our email list on my website. We've had a lot of people that have been like, hey, I didn't get the email. Just gotta check your junk folder. And by supporting our shop updates, it means that I do not have to have crappy sponsors be a part of this channel, so thank you guys so much for showing up and for supporting the art that I like making. And with that, remember to mark your calendars, and I hope to see you guys there.
Thank you for hanging out with me. You're a very special, precious being. Okay, I love you. Bye!